You cuss a lot. You absolutely cuss a lot. I do believe you do. I notice that when I'm editing videos, you are like you cuss just to be cussing. Like you want the kids like, just learn how to cuss.
I'm just like, shit. I don't like do that, man.
Like it just.
I know how to put them together. I know how to put them together.
Your mom cuss like.
Oh man, she cuss like a drunken sailor, man. She would. I mean, just and like you said, for no reason. You know what I mean? Like clean that shit up. What's wrong with it? Clean your ass. You know what I mean? She just say stuff like that. You know. So
I grew up with non-cussing parents, so when I first heard them cuss, I think I was 12 or 13 when I first heard my father, my mom.
Wow.
My parents arguing, and my dad said something like getting on my nerves or something. And then she's like, "Oh, you cussing now?" And he like, "I've been cussing." I'm like, it was a dumb argument because he hadn't been cussing. You know what I'm saying?
He probably like, "I'm gonna try this out on her."
And then when my sister got caught sneaking out with her boyfriend, and I woke up, it was the middle of the night, so I woke up and I called my mom. She was cussing. She called my sister. Yeah, I hit the hoes, and it was just that. Yeah, my mama was cussing my sister. I was first time, but yeah, they really don't. I can cuss. Do you cuss around your mom?
Not really. On a you know, it slip out, and then I remember, you know, grown, so it's okay. You know what I mean? But
you don't do.
I don't do a
egregious.
Yeah. You know, it'll be something like, you know, I got my shit together, ma. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know, but it ain't gonna be like this and this. I don't do that around her. You know.
I think around my dad, I might be a little more in my head about it, but I'll still like say whatever I want to say.
I'm more conscious. I guess that's what you're saying.
I'm more conscious about it.
Like I can find a different word instead of a curse word from around my mom. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Why you disrespect me so bad, man? Why
you're not my mother? The kind of is that?
Saying though.
I got here because that's the world. You know what I mean? And the world gets that. You know what I'm saying? But moms. Hi, mama. You know what I mean? They don't get that. You know what I mean? Mama. Yeah, mom. Real.
Messed up out here, mom. Yeah.
That's how it be. But yeah, man, I think that's the biggest thing though. When I learned, especially when I saw how my mom was outside of the home. You know what I mean? And she was a certain way. Like she could be professional outside of the home, and then she was a very good code switcher. She's a very good code switcher, which I could appreciate because that made me a very good code switcher. I mean, she could switch it right up. And you've seen comedians say that, you know, she'll switch it right up there and be talking business on the phone. It's like, yeah, could you hold it for 1 second? And then that hand on the receiver, you about to get it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The goddamn phone.
That's it. And she'll get right back. That angel, the devil will come out, and then we get back, bling.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna. Oh my goodness, man, you look like
Yeah, my mom could do that because I would call my mom at work, and we would call her, me and my sister be arguing about something
that's
stupid.
The worst too. She like, don't call me with that shit.
Oh, she get into the phone. If I answer this phone one more time,
that's
y'all
hilarious.
calling me about. But she wouldn't cuss, and they'd be just, they was Christians. My father would say "darn it" a lot. Darn it.
Darn it.
Darn it was his thing.
Where did he get darn? Not even darn it.
It was his way of.
Darn it is derivative of damn it.
But got away with darn.
That's like, did he say sugar honey iced tea and shit like that?
Nah.
Or Father UC King?
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like that. Or get the 49311. You know what I mean? Little code.
What's that?
You ain't never heard? That's what Wu-Tang say. You ain't know what that means.
What's 49311?
49311 is the letter of the alphabet. DICK. Get the 49311. You ain't know that?
I am today.
There ain't no fan.
I remember, I thought they were talking about shoe numbers, like the 5411s. I thought they were talking about
the 4911.
Yeah,
not really Reeboks.
Up to 12, put all the other LPs back on the shelf and smoke a blunt and dial 917-160-49311, and you could get long dick hip hop effects.
49311.
Yeah.
Damn, I did not know.
You ain't know that. My goodness, man. The day you're so now you're gonna listen to all your Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I'm about to go back.
You can get the phone 9311. Yeah, man, it was that.
Wow. My mind is actually blown.
How did you not know that, man? Because
what would make sense for you to say, yeah, the 49311?
Because I was one of those kids that used to love the decoder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and you always match up
letters.
You always match up numbers with letters and be like, what the do those numbers mean? You know what I'm saying? And then you look at the alphabet like, oh, D-I-C. Oh, okay. All right. I was going to get on a license plate one time because I was like, ain't nobody going to know what it means. Yeah, but I mean, I just rode around with a dick car. So I got nothing with it, though. You know what I'm saying?
It should be BA49-311.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? Surprised you never knew that, man. All this time.
You know what? It was a song that Black Thought rapped on the Roots album that he said huffing the 10th letter. So I knew what that was. He was saying huffing a J. You know what I'm saying? So I whenever they referred to the 10th letter, I got it. And then Rhythm Nation 1814, I got that.
What was that? I actually never got that.
1814 is RN.
Hey, I'd have never.
Yeah, I was thinking slavery.
Yeah, I'd have never got 18.
Welcome back.
Yes, nice little hiatus. Well, not nice, but you know,
been a while.
It's been a while.
I went on vacation.
I went into the hospital. Yeah. You went to Jamaica, man. I just went to room 1623 for a while. Make sure it was his thing, man.
But we both made it back. Yeah. Yeah, I had a nice little vacation, man.
So what'd you do in Jamaica?
But anyway, and then while I was out, I got a disturbing text from a good friend of mine.
What happened? What happened?
That
yeah, man, it was insane, man. That was yeah. While you was in vacation, hey, morning.
Hey, man, what you doing, man? He like, I'm in an ambulance on the way to the hospital.
No, the crazy thing is I live right up the street, which was perfect. I mean, like directly up the street from South Point.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, I was doing the yard work earlier. I was putting out this herbicide trying to kill the dandelions.
Okay.
And the wind was blowing this back to me. I'm like, and all the time I'm thinking I should have a mask on. And I'm coughing. I'm thinking that's it, you know. So I cough real hard, and I'm normally I don't know why I'm a hard cougher. I've always been I know I've always been a hard ass cougher. Like this time, I'm thinking I bruised my rib or something like that, you know, because it was really hard for me to move. So, mind you, I'm still at home coughing, and here's the thing, I'm smoking. But I'm smoking. I'm thinking to myself, damn, these must as harsh as. I'm never getting these again. But it was such a different cough though. As soon as I would touch it, and then even when I would sit down, I'm driving, I'm coughing. So the yard work was the one where I was finally coughing a lot, and like I said, I thought I bruised my rib, but I'm like, let me make sure it ain't broken enough. Let me make sure it's not. You know, exactly. It could have just been a strained muscle, whatever. Right. So I'll go down to the emergency room. I'm like, I just want to make sure that's it. So they did a little CT scan. And when they finished it, I was like, yeah, so how's the rib? They was like, yeah, that rib. You got a blood clot. You know what I'm saying?
I would love the doctor like,
yeah. That rib, man. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
You got a clot.
You're going to have to stay here on blood thinners, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, that normally happens when such and such happens. How the did I just get one? You know what I mean? I ain't been traveling like that. So they was like, you got to get on blood thinners. Yeah. You know, you can't leave until we say it's all right. So I knew a friend of mine said he had blood clots. He had to stay in the hospital for 6 months, man. I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But that's all I was thinking for a while. So this happened on a Thursday night. I was able to get out Saturday.
And I'm in Jamaica like, what Saturday. The blood clot?
Yeah. He like, what the blood clot, man? All I could do is send back emojis. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, funny. It's funny, yeah.
But it was crazy though. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny.
Sorry.
It was insane though, man, because honestly, if I didn't cough hard, you know, and my doctor told me, I would never went to the doctor. Yeah. I never thought if I didn't cough hard and hurt that side, I would just continue just to been regular coughing, thinking I was regular coughing. But it's not. And the doctor said, she was like, man, you dodged a damn bullet. You know what I mean? But everything like that, just relax and shit like that. Because like
oh, that was right up your alley.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
You hate
Negro. Ain't said nothing but a word. I would stay stressed out. That would be my biggest problem. But that's always been my problem is I was so intense and I need to just relax and chill and let life be life, you know what I mean? But I was always like, you know, come on, let's do this. Let's
stressing about things.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? My wife always say, you know, sit still. She always say I don't never just stand still and sit for a minute. You know what I mean? But she, like this taught me, hey, you might want to chill the
Chill out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Very humbling. Very humbling.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have had to do this podcast.
Have a little picture. It'd been, yeah, you still been doing it.
Like right off, laughing as if you laughing with me.
That's
sad to think about. But listen, we at that age, man. Your health is important, man.
Yeah, health and go. The thing
is
you have to go to the doctor because my doctor told me. She said, "Thank goodness you go," because she know people who have died suddenly because they just thought it was just a small pain.
Yeah, for us it's just gas.
Yeah,
I heard a comedian say that. Exactly. Like, we always think it's gas.
Exactly. You know what I mean, it's nothing big. It's I've had worse pains than this and that.
Right.
This time though, when that rib though, and my wife was like, "You want to go to the?" I already had my pants on to go. One thing that I did not like was that they said it was unprovoked. It just came out of nowhere. That kind of pissed me off. Like, come on, man. That like, cause that reminded me of when they told me I had MS and they was like, yeah, you'll probably live about 7 years less than your peers. And I'm like, you mean them same that I'm drinking and smoking with right now that don't do, you know what I'm saying? Don't work out, don't do shit, and I'm gonna live 7 years less than those. Yeah. You know, so and that's what got me pissed off. Like, man, I'm doing all this shit. I'm working out to stay ahead of, the MS and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then I get this blood clot out of nowhere, and I'm like, well, do I continue?
Wise to working out.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it was a catch-22, but then I had to realize, no, I can't stop because even the doctor said you probably wouldn't be here if you wasn't working because you knew that was a different pain in the body and everything like that. So continue doing that workout.
I could be full of blood clots right now. I wouldn't know it.
You would have no idea.
I would have no idea.
I have no idea. But you know what? I'm living my life like it's golden.
Like it's golden, though. So, let's try to make the best of these days and these times. You know what I'm saying? Because life hits blunt.
Well, here's the crazy thing about life keep going. Because I told my job, I said, look, man, I told them what happened. And then when I was coming out, that's exactly what they did. No bullshit. When I texted them, when I was out, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of the hospital.
Yeah, I almost died, and I'm out of the hospital.
Yeah, they did.
So you're coming in?
You gonna make it on Tuesday?
Can you come today?
I was like, are you serious, man? They
only care about their bottom line.
Yeah.
They just replace you with somebody else.
They'll just fucking place you, man.
Here's something that was crazy. It's this guy that I would at one of the facilities I go to. I would draw his blood. He's fairly young dude, but anytime I would come draw his blood, he would always be, man, goddamn. I'm like, look, your nurse is the one that's, your doctor wants his blood. I don't want it. I don't care. But so he would always give me a hard time. Last Thursday I went to draw his blood, and he didn't give me a hard time. He was like, all right, man, here you go. And he was cool about it. He was like, all right, cool, yeah. And everything was good, smooth. It was the very first time that he didn't give me a hard time.
Yeah.
Why I come back the next day? Came and asked me. She was like, how was his behavior, when you draw his blood? I was like, the weird part is that he was being nice to me. I was like, he normally always complained, but he was nice. He gave me his hand, and I drew the blood. It was easy going. And she was like, he died too. I was like,
why she set you up for that, though?
No, because she was asking, she kind of was just wondering, like, if his behavior was different, because they found him in the over.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I was the
Did she tell you he died first, though? Or did she?
No, she just asked me, like, how was his behavior? Because I was pretty much the last person that he saw before.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
You was his quantum leap.
I was
his quantum leap.
Hey, you gotta be nice to this guy, okay? You're gonna stay in this body until you're nice to the black guy.
Then your ass left, you're like,
he's like, all right, I was finally nice to the blood guy.
That was it, nigga.
Funny.
That was it, boy. You was his quantum leap, boy. That was it.
Leap. That was a show, man.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Funny.
Wait. Let me rewind. I just realized something. So you drew the blood, then you left.
This nigga trying to make a conspiracy.
And then he died.
I was the last one.
You was the last one to see him alive. And he always was an asshole to you. And then something just clicked in my head like, wait. Rewind it. Rewind.
What?
Rewind. Because
what could possibly...
when you said, yeah, and he finally was talking some sense today. Like, yeah, what sense was like, please don't kill me. No, please don't kill me.
I done had
Please
enough of your
And you just went in just being happy-go-lucky, but yet still killing them. You know how murderers do and shit. Like, hey, how's it going today? You went with the pillow. You're like, please, no, please don't. And you still took the blood. Slumped over. Yeah. And that's why you say he was so peaceful, because he was already dead when you took the blood. I know you, nigga. I know you.
Yeah, I'm a murderer.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you. I'm going to tell America this. He told me a story about how he killed a kitten one time, right? And said, oh, it wasn't my fault. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Now, I knew the nigga made up the whole story because he invoked Michael Jackson into it.
Michael Jackson?
And he had the story was too perfect. This is how I know. Because he had the whole dance. He had a whole background. You know, it was 1984. It was 1984. He had the same thing. And he said it the same way. Now, picture this. 1984. Friday Night Videos. World premiere.
World premiere of
14 million. So, look, you're saying the same story.
It's the story. It's the truth.
And that's how you know I got to come up with an alibi, because you're saying the same one over and over. When it's the truth, you forget parts of it. Like, I forget, was it, what was I
burned in my brain the night that I killed this cat accidentally.
There you go with the accidentally part.
I was 6 years old.
Something tells me, man, that there wasn't no accident. Like your
84, I was 8. Yeah,
no,
I was 8.
Okay, yeah, I was 9 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think you meant to kill that cat, man. I think you meant to. I think you really was like, the cat's in the way, because who slams a it just does not sound believable.
Took the mayonnaise out, slammed the door with the spin. Cat head was in
and
there.
That right there, I was like, that just don't sound. When I replayed that whole scenario, when I replayed that whole scenario, I was like, nah, something fishy with that story.
Yeah.
So they ain't had Goddard's law then, so you got away with one.
Have I been on an animal killing spree since then? that no one's been
a pet one. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have any cats around here, nigga. I don't have cats. Where is your cat?
But my thing was that the story was just too perfect. You know what I mean? It was one of those stories.
You don't have a story in your life. The story when you were attacked by and you held your guts. You don't tell that story the same way every time.
Well, I don't really tell the story, because, like, who asked for a story like that? Tell me that you were stabbed, man.
You were stabbed.
Now,
I tell you remember the story.
When I was caught at the border of Canada with the chronic, and they told me that I was getting arrested for trying to smuggle illegal substances over international borders. And I was like, I'm going to jail for life. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the same story, because I forget parts of it, because I be forgetting, like, oh yeah, we did get strip searched. I forget that part of shit. You know what I'm saying? That part of the traumatic part of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did get a cavity search. Yeah. Oh yeah, he didn't wear gloves.
Yeah, you know what I'm
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was not the police.
And it wasn't. Just a random tough guy.
Yeah, that I thought was part of them. You know what I mean? He had a shirt that said security. And I was just like, okay. Oh, yeah.
Forgot that part.
For real, I forgot that part. Yeah, that part I forgot.
Leave that out sometimes.
I be forgetting, though.
And that was murder death. Death of an animal.
Yeah, I mean, I've murdered animals.
On purpose?
Yeah.
You did tell a story about you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like,
you like drowned a rat or something?
It was a groundhog.
A groundhog.
Whatever the hell they was.
And
not groundhog, but it was those, the goat, whatever it is, gopher, whatever the hell it is. That's
some
in your
kind
yard.
Of yard
you know what I mean? That destroy your the foundation of your home.
You would set up them buckets to drown them.
Yeah, and so I set up. So you got just different ways. It's just like a rat. You know, if you're gonna catch you're gonna have to kill the rat. You know what I mean? You don't just trap it and release it somewhere.
But it wasn't dead, and you took
I had to take a shovel and
decapitated him.
No, I didn't decapitate him. I just hit him hard and he died. You know what I'm saying?
Did you toss him up in the air and hit him?
No, I just hit, he tried to get it. No, because then he would have got away. You know what I mean? So no, you had to kill him. You have to, because they're destroying.
I couldn't kill a varmint. I couldn't kill a mouse like that. You, of course, put in a bucket, rat trap, all that shit. I'm talking about just take something and smash
you couldn't kill it.
Not if unless it was attacking me, but if it was just like I had a hard time threading a fishing line. The very first time I went fishing, ex-girlfriend of mine took me fishing for the first time in my life, and we had to bait with worms. That traumatized my suburban ass.
Well, the thing is, you should have never done with worms. She should have gave you the fake shit.
I didn't know that there was she didn't. She was a worm baiter.
Yeah, see,
and I didn't think be that traumatic.
That's nasty.
It's like
they moving around and shit. You're like,
I'm like, she tripling it up on the thing. Yeah, you got to then have half of it hanging off, and it's just wiggling. Like you want it to be wiggling, so
that'd be like, I'm straight.
I'm out.
Can I go home? Can we go home?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm too suburban to fish.
It's not a suburban thing. It's just it's just like when you were young, you that was things that you like. Oh, look at the worms and that you could do it. But as I got older, I'm not with that. You know what I mean? That's just not. She should have came with the fake ones, with the lures.
You can use
why not just regular lures?
Huh?
Why couldn't you just use a lure?
Lure?
Yeah, a lure. I'm from Cleveland.
I was in St. Louis. Said over her, I use lures.
A lure. You can use lures. Lures.
Yeah. No, I was unaware. But somebody said that you can draw shrimp. She got mad at me that I put that on Facebook, but I ain't care. So we got a topic for our people today.
I think one of the topics we had discussed before on the show, because I think one of the things that we discussed constantly, and I don't want us to look like we're like anti-women. You want to actually say, okay, like this, what's it called? Healing. You know what I mean? And you want to know why certain things happen and what caused it. A lot of issues in relationships, both for females and males, came from childhood trauma. You know what I mean? And that's not just past relationship trauma, but because you got to go past what happened in a relationship and look to what happened as a child, because you, me, your wife, we're still that little boy, we're still that little girl. You know what I mean? We're just bigger.
I believe in that to an extent. We're an accumulation of our experiences, right? So I do get that. What I don't like is the perceived victimization, because I think people will lean into, childhood traumas is why, and then I'm supposed to be, I shouldn't have to always be at the whim of your childhood trauma. You need to grip your childhood trauma in a relationship, me being the you and that me as well. You know what I'm saying? And grip my childhood trauma and not allow it to be my adulthood trauma. Feel me?
Yeah. Now, I understand that. Now, the other thing on that is that what if your spouse or whatever doesn't even know that he's putting you through that?
Meaning what?
Meaning that she doesn't know that she's putting you through stuff that she went through. She doesn't know that they're triggers. So she's just always getting mad at you for doing certain things. She's getting mad at you for doing certain, and you don't know why she's getting. Then you look at her, she don't know why she's getting mad. Come to find out, that's a childhood trigger or something. You know what I mean? Like they're saying different types of childhood trauma could be certain things like physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical neglect, emotional neglect, living with a relative with a mental health disorder, having an incarcerated parent, your mother being treated violently, substance abuse in the home, or divorce. So they can't always handle that.
What is the point of knowing a trigger, in your opinion?
It puts you at ease as to why someone would be so...
someone would behave a certain way.
Yeah.
Does it give them a pass for that behavior?
Not at all.
Okay, let's just say, for example, I had a girl who was triggered because I smoked weed. He had a parent that smoked weed. Also, we wouldn't be in a relationship if that was the case, right? Because it ain't like I came into the relationship, I jumped in and smoked weed. You can't get with me knowing I smoke weed and then later in a relationship try to change that because there was a childhood trauma about it.
Well, let's change from smoking weed to, say, raising your voice.
Okay, let's change it to something to raise your voice. All right, so that's a perfect one for me because that's something that is in my marriage where raising my voice is something that triggers my wife because her dad would raise his voice a lot and it would make her scared as a little girl. Here's my thing to that. I can acquiesce to that, but you're telling me that because of your childhood trauma...
Go back on that word. I don't know what that word means.
Acquiesce?
Yeah. Fuck would you even say that?
Context.
Stop doing it. Like, what is that word?
Acquiesce means to adhere to conform.
All right.
I shouldn't have to conform. Me knowing that you are triggered by yelling shouldn't make me not yell. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do something that makes me yell, okay, here's the difference I can say. It'd be different if I was a yell at anything. That could be. If we're in an argument about you did something, you said something to me that pissed me off, and then I yell because I'm mad. For you then to cower like, oh, don't me. But that's bullshit to me.
Does she cower?
No, I'm just saying. If that was the no, that's not what my wife does.
That's what I'm saying. So if she doesn't cower though, if she handles it very well, then she might be
No, I'm
handling
not
that
saying
trigger
she
with.
handles it well. What I'm saying is that she may shut down on talking to me if I get loud because she feels as if my loudness is something that, like, to me, I think this is a woman trick. It's usually when I'm right and I know that I'm right and I'm trying to prove a point, and then she needs to switch the subject. You know how they do those switcheroo. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not the point. I'm trying to prove that you're wrong, but you want to make how I'm saying it the problem, not what I'm saying.
Well, I know.
So that to me, again, I do understand but what I'm saying is childhood trauma shit like that's major triggers, I feel like should be fleshed out prior to marriage. You can't get that off in a marriage and be like because it'd be okay. Let's just say I started drinking. I can understand me starting to drink and now I'm becoming an alcoholic can be triggering to a woman who didn't marry a man that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That to me I could understand. Or if I if I did something that was in some extreme after, and marriages change, people change as they grow, so I could understand something like that happening, so I could get that. But I'm just talking about me as is, being who I was when I got with you, and being the same and then on the vice versa, if you as the woman get to be that passionate, but I'm not triggered by it, but it's okay for you to yell because I'm not triggered by it. But because you're triggered by it, I can't yell. See, that's where I'm
Does she yell at you?
What I'm saying is that if she gets passionate about something, can I then be like, all right, you need to lower your voice? That's petty arguments to me. These type of things grind arguments to points where you can't get to the meat of the problem because you want to get to this trauma. It's triggering to me. That's triggering to me. To talk about my childhood trauma is why I'm like this. Because I feel like so many people use that as a crutch. Deal with your shit.
So how would they deal with it?
Before you get into a relationship. Be comfortable enough to say, I can have a passionate, heated argument with someone that I know I love and not cower back thinking this man means in me harm because I vetted this person out in relationship so that by the time that I'm marrying this person, these things. Now, I understand marriage is a whole different animal. When you get married, things start triggering you, and you got to dig deeper to find a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I do understand that
There's going to be different layers that's going to come off through marriage. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you're going to have different, like, even for me, I know for me, for a fact, I had different layers come off for me, and I had levels of anger that I didn't even know I had until I got married.
So she triggers
you.
So
that would trigger me and that's once again, that is things that I have from childhood trauma that I know, you know what I mean, that I keep in check a lot. And that's the thing. I never got over it. I just keep it in check.
Okay.
Sometimes
so
they
give me an
can't keep
example
it in
of something
check.
that's in your childhood trauma that you keep in check that could trigger you. Because I can't think of something that
I can't take loud banging doors shutting loud, boom. Loud talks and shit like that, like you said.
Like if she mad at you and then she slammed the door.
Or just regular people who slam doors and be loud. I can't take that. It's just
So what that was something that happened in your childhood?
Yeah, it's just childhood trauma right there. I never really got over it. It shakes me still. You know what I mean? When I hear a door slam, it still kind of bugs me out. You know what I mean? And even trauma from being stabbed. I can't take somebody joking with me, coming at me with a. I can't take that.
I'm not gonna do it because I love
you. Know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? and the thing is, I've had one of my stepkids did that shit. I'm like, yo, don't do that. I'll let you know. Don't do that because that really happened to me. I'm gonna let you know.
And maybe maybe I'm speaking from maybe my traumas were less, and maybe they're just buried, or maybe I've dealt with them. But it's like I can't think of nothing other than like I have things that trigger me that trigger me to be angry. I don't like being lied to. I don't like being ignored. I don't like being placated. You know what I'm saying? Like just going along just to go along. I don't like none of those things, right? And
is there a reason behind it, or is that just you?
Well, being lied to, who likes being lied to? What was the second one I said?
I don't know. I just remember placated.
Placated means like just going agreeing. Being ignored is the second one. I don't like when if I'm talking to you and you don't respond to me. You know what I'm saying? That to be now that probably is some childhood trauma because my mother would ignore me if I, you know what I'm saying?
Coming out. It's coming out.
No. But
I see the tears.
But that's nothing that I am going to. I'm not going to make my significant other a victim of that. If she decides to ignore me, which sometimes she does, if she just shut down, and I feel like and I know it's a trigger to me, and I feel like I'm getting upset, I leave. I go away. We depart from each other. You know what I'm saying? Because
you've been triggered.
I've been triggered. I don't like that you're ignoring me. You've been triggered because you don't like that I'm yelling. So we both just need to go separate ways. So again, I learned that at an early age. If I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to yell, and I'm like, and I've been to that point where I'm yelling because you know I need you to understand what I'm saying. I will go, and I guess my flight is on fleek because I fly. I go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I left relationships. So, you know, hey, all right, if you ain't on it, I ain't on it.
So you just don't. You're not. See, the thing is that my mom always taught me, if you're not wrong, there's no reason for you to raise your voice. You know what I'm saying?
Easier said than done, but she's right.
Yeah, if you're not wrong, there's no reason. And my mother was one of those people, and I, you know, she would sit there and just say stuff calmly because she was right about it. You know what I mean? And person she's talking to is going all off the hook, and she's like, "Look, I'm not gonna get up there with you."
But you can be right and still have a passion about it.
Because
they are just completely wrong.
But there's no reason to get your heart rate up like that anymore, man. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I want so much to prove my rightness, but it's one of those things where
that triggers me.
What?
If I'm passionate about something and you just on some whatever shit with me,
yeah, that's funny.
You know what I'm saying? I'm triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see right there, yeah.
If I'm like, no, because if it's something that's important to me, and she's like,
and you brush it and they brush it off,
nigga.
See, there you go. There you go.
Now again, that I do understand it's some childhood trauma. I don't like being ignored. I don't like being brushed off. It's a trigger that I can tell my wife, listen, we need to have a discussion because I don't like when you shut down and don't talk about the conversation. You shut down because I raised my voice. So we need to come to some kind of medium where even if I'm not raising my voice, then you have to answer.
Have y'all had this conversation?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you write it down?
Write what down?
Write it down.
Write what down?
Write down what you guys said that you would do, and keep it.
Yeah, because I forgot all.
Exactly. You're gonna forget. Write it down. Like, look.
Who in the middle of the night be like, hold on. You said.
Hey, I'll do that shit in a minute. 15, hey, man, I have bought out the paper.
That paper.
I have bought out the paper. Like, listen, you said this before that we were not gonna go through this again, and here we are. She's even bought it out, man. Like, look, write it down, man. Write it down. It gives you more accountability. Yes, I did write that there. It gives it lands
account down, man.
No, you got that's accountability right there. We wrote it down. We wrote it
this
down.
Is me being an example.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, there it is. You know what I mean?
He's like, hey, you just gotta write it.
Just
down.
Gotta write it down, man. That's just it. Just write it down, man. But you know, like, she doesn't use that trigger against you though, does she? She doesn't brush shit off just to piss you off.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
I'll be on it about something. No, but she'll just be like the blank stare look, like I'm looking at you, but not. And then I'm like, and then that's when I'm like, oh, see, you ain't paying no attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going off about something because if I'm taken to the point where I'm going off, he's gotten me there. You feel what I'm saying? And then once I start going off, then she shuts down. Now you don't want to argue because I'm engaged now?
Once you're going off, you've lost, man. That's you should learn that, man. Once she gets you past that, you've lost. And now it's like now she can do whatever she wants with the rest of her day. Because you like, get him out. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I look at it.
You know what I mean?
No.
No, you want to stop that. Don't do that. Just,
Okay, this isn't a daily thing.
you know what
I'm just saying.
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, every day.
Like, what?
You want some breakfast? Whatever.
It was-
Oh, f*** there.
To the basement I go. No, every day we ain't arguing. No, but I'm just saying, again, this all started about childhood traumas. All I'm saying is childhood traumas I feel like needs to be accounted for before. I feel like a lot of those things, before you even attempt any type of long-term relationship, address your closet demons. Don't assume that getting with somebody will get that out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of women, because they have a fear of something that may an ex-boyfriend that did this, they'll get with another man thinking that they're not going to experience that again. I'm saying you can come from an abuse to a good relationship, still have those same triggers, and this dude ain't never hit you a day in his life.
But what if the triggers are what if the abuse was sexual abuse though? You know, a perfect example is D. Ray Davis, comedian, said that he had been molested when he was younger by a female, and he said that gives him intimacy issues where he cannot basically have oral sex on a woman because he was like, that's a bad thing for me.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
I had the same trauma.
Yeah, and you don't even realize that shit.
No, but
yours might have been with some, see, there you go.
I had sexual experiences with women at a young age. Now, here's my explanation of that. Yes, I did have a female do sexual.
About to tell on.
No, the thing is, I had sexual experiences that wasn't trauma to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't view those experiences at that time as this shouldn't be happening. Even though I knew it shouldn't be happening, I wasn't like, I feel bad about this. No, I was excited about it. It was fun for me.
To things in your relationships, like of not wanting to settle down or not, you know, a fight, you know, like you said, your flight game was easy. Like, I'm out, I'm done. You know what I mean?
That wasn't childhood trauma. The flight game wasn't childhood trauma as far as me being able to leave a relationship. That was from relationship trauma. You know what I'm saying? So that's older shit. No, I there's nothing that I can link to my childhood, even though, like I said, I had young sexual experiences. I had, you know what I'm saying? Most of my sexual experiences as a young child were with women that were the aggressors. They were the girls that were my age. They were the aggressors. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones that would come take me to the back of the woods and take me to the, you know, behind the garage and tell me to do this, this, and that. And I'm like, okay, and I did it. None of it was true. It was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this and this and that. Like, it wasn't that traumatic for me as the little boy that I was. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of neighborhoods I lived in, there was an old freak lady that was in that neighborhood that everybody knew was messing with the younger guy. You know what I mean? Now the thing is, because we were boys, we're thinking like that's the coolest shit in the world.
I guess our
and
generation,
it's not.
Okay, if it's an adult woman with the little boys, and I've never had that experience, you're absolutely right. That is absolutely not okay. I never had that experience. Never been that disparity with someone that was grown and I had any type of sexual experience with. So it wasn't like I was in any type of scenario. It wasn't like I was made to do it and it was like, yeah, you do this, or I was hit.
That's trauma though. That is actual.
It's not. See, here's my thing.
Didn't take it as it. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Define the word trauma.
But maybe it's the person. Maybe it's the person and how they see it and if it was trauma to them.
Define trauma.
You know what I mean? Yes, going through some shit.
Wait, no. Going through some shit is not trauma. Going through some shit is life. What I'm saying is, what is trauma?
Or are you saying like trauma, something that changes your life, something that changes the vibrations that you're supposed to be on? You know what I mean? As far as near death is trauma. A lot of things that could be considered trauma.
I can understand near death.
Rape is considered trauma. Child abuse. You know what I mean?
Things like that is trauma.
Kidnapping.
That's trauma, sure. Traumatic experience.
Yeah, traumatic experiences is a lot of different trauma.
So everyone has had a household in which there was some level of dysfunction. No one's grown up in a perfect household. There's always some level of dysfunction. Whether it was a 2-parent household, I had a 2-parent household that was very dysfunctional. You had a single-parent household that may have had some level of but there was some functionality within that dysfunction, right? That you became an adult, you became a functioning adult, in society. You didn't lose your marbles. You ain't out here doing crazy shit. Somehow you figured out how to take that childhood, learn what you learned, and then create new memories for you yourself, and then get a family. What I'm saying is trauma, in my opinion, is for reasons why they can't be accountable.
And I feel that because and it's the new age people that are quick to use trauma.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That are very quick to use, you know what I mean? No, don't do that. I had a dog when I was younger. I had a dog that did that.
Yeah, but you believe it. You believe that childhood trauma.
But no, it's got to be, you can't sit there and childhood trauma me to say, like, you know, I had a dog and he died. Ain't no goddamn trauma. I'm sorry.
That's life.
I'm like, that's it. Yeah, that's life. When I speak it, but see me, and that's when I see people going through things, and I'm like, that's all, you know, because my childhood trauma was on a whole different level, a whole nother different level,
and it's all subjective,
you know what I'm saying?
As well. Because like when I was in Jamaica, there was a lady that I was talking to that was she was drunk, but she was being very super weepy about her life and how she had to overcome a lot of. We had government cheat, we had this and that. I can't have extra sympathy for someone just because you said I came from the hood. I came from
that
nothing.
there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everyone did.
Because not that everyone did, but a lot of people did, and not that it wasn't hard, but that story is one that is personal and is subjective. It's about what is meant to your life. But you're not gonna out my life is worse than yours or to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you had it bad. And then you know what I'm saying?
You got some X factors in there, you know what I mean? Cause you got, you know, think of like, you know, who was the kid, the girls that got kidnapped for 10 years. You know what I mean? Now there's some trauma that you're not topping that shit. Like if you were to date, say for example, the person that's dating that girl, how the hell she's not getting over none of that. How do you do that?
You don't date her.
So you see, so she just
you don't. Date
all
her.
of them don't get no love.
The women, people that I shouldn't say the women, men too. People that have that type of in their life, yes, you can get love. You find love equally. You find a kidnapping.
That's
find it.
You gotta be.
You gotta get another.
Y'all gotta be equal. Well, no, because
join a website.
Look at soldiers who have PTSD because they've seen nothing but dead bodies.
You're not going to get with a normal citizen civilian.
You cannot have two PTSD people, man. Y'all just going to be having triggers each.
But you understand each other. That's why if you're an alcoholic, you should marry an alcoholic. If y'all get AA together, y'all going to get an AA. It's the understanding. That's why a billionaire, I always say, if you're a billionaire entertainment person, Jay-Z married the perfect person. Because
that's money. We're not talking about.
I'm talking about
alcoholics.
You should date your kind. You should marry your kind. Again, if you are a drinker, you should marry a drinker. If you're a smoker, you should marry a smoker. And then, okay, there's one that's in my life. I'm a smoker. My wife isn't.
Yeah.
So, but she's someone who tolerates me being a smoker because it isn't a trigger to her. Now, if I was a drinker, that could be something different. She may not want me in her life if I was, because of, you know, I believe her dad was an alcoholic at one point. So again, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna say trauma is real. It's something that happened to you in your life and that's traumatic. But if it's affecting how you are able to be in a relationship, it's affecting how you are, the health and the functionality of you in a relationship, then you shouldn't be in a relationship.
So I think it's just different levels of how different, because I can tell you, man, the only reason why I do say stuff is because I tell people, you're not the only person that went through this. It's not your fault that you went through this. You know what I mean? It's going to get better. It does. It always does. You know what I mean?
Or even if it don't.
Even if it don't.
Here's my thing. It's hard to tell someone that their problems shouldn't be a problem. You need to deal with your traumas, and if they are something that
would you tell them to go get help, or how would you tell them to deal with it? A lot of people don't like the word help. They don't like to go see a psychiatrist because they thinking that they lost, and that's one thing is getting our people to go to talk to somebody.
What does trigger mean? Does it mean it causes you some kind of emotional distress?
I would say something that immediately puts you back in whatever traumatized you.
A trigger is something that causes you to react emotionally. And I think that's what we have trained ourselves as people, men and women, to try to regulate is our triggers.
But what if you react with no emotion? Are you still reacting emotionally?
There's no way to react without it.
If shutting down is no emotion.
No, that's not. That is an emotion. That's you saying, I don't.
Well, not shutting down. I'm sorry.
Shutting
Not shutting
down
down.
is emotion.
Just ignoring it. Like the
Ignoring
slamming
is
door.
emotion.
The slamming door.
That's an emotion.
I don't get if she slams the door mad at somebody else.
I
don't get into the room and be like, don't be slamming them doors.
I think everything you do in reaction to something else is emotion. It's an emotion that's causing you to. The only way, even if you just stood there and did nothing, maybe that might be the closest thing to not emotion. But there's a certain emotion in there. There's a smugness. There's a little bit of arrogance.
So you don't think like an acceptance of like,
So what does that look like though? How do I accept someone's trigger? I mean, someone's trauma. So I accept their trauma, but how do I accept their trigger? So what I'm saying is, if your trauma is, let's go back to me and my wife. Your trauma is the yelling. I am then not allowed to yell.
Well, my next thing would be,
is my yelling should expect a certain result.
I think your yelling is getting to her because since her father yelled at her, and that was the closest thing to her heart as a man, you are the closest thing to her heart as a man, and you yelling just completely reminds her of her father yelling, and that just takes. And you got to respect that. There's nothing you can do about that. I respect it because the father was there first.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there's absolutely nothing you could do about that.
What I'm saying is, so I'm not allowed to yell, or do I have to
be conscious of it?
Be conscious that if I do yell, she's going to react a certain way.
Exactly. Just know that when you can't sit there and because you put all the salt in the cake mix, don't sit there and be like, this cake's salty. You know what I'm saying? So you are, and that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You like, oh, so I can't yell because you know what's gonna happen if you yell.
So I need to respond versus react. So in my response, when responding requires thinking.
Yeah, you react a lot. You like, that's stupid.
Sometimes
that's dumb. Why would you do that?
Yeah, but I have to sometimes not let my first reaction be my response.
But that's respectable sometimes.
And
though.
that's why I always say love comes with a filter, because we have to filter that first reaction.
You gotta know when to use that.
You gotta know when to use that. Reaction got to be curtailed. And that's one thing that as men we have to learn how to do. Learn how to act less and respond.
And it's everybody, because I think one of the things that helped me out though is I'm one of those people that I'm able to see the end product, and I'll go through 2 or 3 different scenarios, almost like Terminator shit. If I say it this way, I know what's gonna happen here. If I say this way, I know what's gonna happen here. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go this route so that it goes this way. Yeah. You know what I mean? You kind of I know the routes to go, and I know I navigate pretty easily through it. You know what I mean?
My wife hates when I do that. Hates when she knows that she says I argue like a lawyer because I set up questions.
She hates that too.
And
it's not my fault though.
I'm setting up questions because you act as if what I'm saying is crazy. Yeah. So I have to dog walk it.
Oh, and you ever send her visuals through the phone? Like, here, read. My wife cannot stand that. I saw the little shit you saying. I mean, like, no, I'm trying to show you the stuff.
Video that relates.
Exactly. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Exactly
this is what I'm saying.
About.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that. You know what I mean?
And she hates that. So if she sees me doing that, she'll blank, and that's what I'm trying to explain to her. Is like, I just need you to understand that, we have to get to the end of the situation. And if you're going to twist it, I just hate manipulation. If your wife, like you said, you don't like crying. So you're arguing with your wife and you right about something. She was dead wrong about something. Then she start crying. That's manipulation, because she knows that the crying is going to make you back off.
But you got to remember that only happens 3 times. Then it goes to the point like, I know what you're doing now.
But what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But if she tried it the first time, what I'm saying is she triggered you. She triggered your emotions by crying, and some women will do that. And that crying is in her head is to get you to back down and to get you to soften up, and it's manipulation, because it's detracting from the real situation.
So there can never be any good manipulations. There's no good. I see good manipulation.
there could be good manipulation if your alternative motive has good ending.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you know that there's a good result at the end and they just don't see it yet, and you trying to convince them, babe, I just need you to go with me, believe me, because this is going to be something positive in the end, then that is good manipulation.
Yeah. Or even if you don't tell them that you have to manipulate them to see a certain way.
Sure.
You know, and after a while when they see it, you don't even say anything. It's just in your head. Okay, I finally got to think that way.
Manipulation for positive things is called convincing.
Okay. So we got witchcraft.
It's still witchcraft. And for negative is witchcraft, for positive is convincing. It's the same thing as flirting if the guy is cute. It's harassment.
Harassment of the other.
It's that same thing.
For real.
Yeah. If she don't think you cute, you are harassing her.
Well, I've said this. I thought we got this, you know, like maybe they just cannot because of the inner workings inside of them. You know, and it's just one of those things that they're much more deeper and have a deeper look at the world than we have because they have different mechanisms inside of them creating everything to think.
Here's the thing. You and I can have it. I want them to have it. And I want them to have that understanding to the point they can understand and say, you know what, right now I'm emotionally not able to make clear conversation about something. Let's not until I feel in a better place.
It's not gonna happen.
It'll never happen.
Never happen.
Or if after they snap and get them, because emotions are natural. So I'm not saying don't do emotions, but after the emotion, they come back. And I do appreciate a woman to say, you know what, I'm sorry. Back to that.
I was wrong.
I'm sorry, and I was wrong because, you know, you did this and it made me feel a certain way, and I did that. Women have the power to do so much manipulative things, but for positive ways. They can manipulate men. Here's what I'm saying. Women have the power to control any relationship if they can get the man.
They have the power to change the world. They actually have it.
And I hate that women do not understand that to the point where they can do it and finesse it. It's the insecurities that causes all of this trauma and triggers.
I feel you, but what I'm trying to say on your part, because we speaking accountability. So when she hollered at you, what did you do?
I said, who are you yelling at like that? Why are you yelling at me like that?
Okay.
It pissed me off.
I get it. Might be a trigger. Might have been something there. Now, what do you think the situation would have been better if you just said nothing? You'd be like, I apologize, and please, you didn't have to get that loud with me.
Okay, and you added it, please.
Yes, that's the thing, that you let them know what was wrong, and then also, hey, I was wrong on that one, but at the same time,
that won't work.
Did you try?
Tell you why it wouldn't work.
Why?
And I didn't try, but I've tried in other instances. I didn't try in this one, but I've tried in other instances.
Because even with the dog, you got mad when the dog shitted on the thing.
And she got mad at me for doing one. Again, my problem is getting mad at me before I have
reacting
information.
And not responding.
When she reacts, and then it makes me react. Yes, when you react, then it makes me react, and that's my trigger. Your reaction makes me react. And if she would have taken the time to say, and again, this is me saying, yes, you're right. I need to be accountable for my actions. But what I'm saying is, there's ways to get through to me without getting mad at me. That's the same thing with the dog argument. If she would have said, babe, I want this instead of that, communicated it instead of yelling it, then we can work. But when you yell it or when you get mad at me and not give me that information and then expect me to just be like, you know what? I don't like that you yelled at me like that. That's some sucker shit.
Now tell me this though. Have you ever been in a relationship where a woman has done that? I'm going to say you probably haven't, as nobody has ever been in that, where they said, you know what, this and that. No. You know what I mean? Do those relationships even exist? No, these are ups and downs.
So you're trying to tell me that I am unreasonable to expect someone to tell me something that...
You're going on a whole umbrella. I'm going on just you got to pinpoint instances. And there are times when you do not have...
In that instance
right there.
It was unreasonable of me to expect her to not get mad at me.
Here's the reason why.
In that moment.
Because...
It's unreasonable.
No, because her screaming at you was not her mad at you.
And that's my point. It's the getting mad first part.
But I think
if there was something that she did that made me get mad first, and I said, well, what'd you do that for? You know what I'm saying? I would think she would say, I would really want you to find a better way to.
You didn't shield. You came on punch. You countered.
I countered because she punched,
and there's no reason to counter.
But she punched
because she was scared. She punched out of being scared.
Don't punch. I'm gonna punch back.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, you was scared.
Hold on. Is it unreasonable to expect to get punched back if you punch?
You talk. I'm using that's just an example.
That's a great example.
So when a little toddler punched you, you punch the shit out of this little toddler. Come on, man. I hit back.
You teach them don't hit, or you may get hit back.
You can't. You know what I mean? So
all I'm saying is,
I hear.
You still ain't answered the question.
I totally.
Is it unreasonable for me to expect her to understand, not to understand that if you punch, you could get punched back. You could get. So here's my thing: don't punch at all. If punching, and we're metaphorically using that as,
why not just use the real word, reacting? Then
reacting, correct? If reacting to something. What I'm saying is, she knows a trigger of mine is you reacting to me in a way that is to me. If I am not, I'm the collateral damage of whatever you're upset about. I don't like it. Stop making me collateral damage. Again, we've had this conversation, but what I'm saying is, this is about trauma and triggers. This is I probably named this episode Trauma and Triggers. Because trauma and triggers are not excuses for you treating someone a certain way. And if they tell you, I don't like how you treat me, you can't use your trauma and your triggers as an excuse. So the dog shitting on the floor situation, and for those who don't know, it's a previous episode, go find it. But if when you get mad at me because I didn't react the way you wanted me to react, is where I'm triggered. It's like, yes, you have something that pissed you off and you're reacting a way. And yes, you're expecting me to be mature enough to say, it's not about me, it's about this. Where is your maturity to say, let me not make you and that's what I'm saying. Don't make me the enemy.
I feel you.
I'm beating my head on the wall to get you to understand, to get anyone to understand that it's not unexpected. It shouldn't be unreasonable for me to expect you to say, I shouldn't make you collateral damage. That's not unreasonable for me to expect.
Why is that not unreasonable?
Because
that's a human.
No.
Because and it's gonna happen.
First is because I don't do it to you, and second, it's unhealthy. It makes and it goes back to our initial conversation: trauma and triggers. If I'm telling you now, you have cognitive awareness of my dislike of you making me your enemy. In moments that I shouldn't be your enemy.
The enemy is you're taking it too far with
I'm
enemy
using
though.
That word when I say make me your enemy is when you get upset with me and we're in an argument. Now all of a sudden
she's making you the problem. Then.
If you make me the problem or turn your anger from whatever that triggered you towards me, that thing triggered you. There's your trauma. There, that's your trauma. If I'm in the area and I'm just the collateral damage because you need somewhere to shoot that anger off, bullshit. No, to me, that's online. That's online with a man that comes home, beats his wife every day, and tells her, "I still love you. I've eaten you every day. Don't you see I love you? I'm bringing home dinner. I bring home a paycheck."
Not on the same.
But again, it's abuse. You're abusing me. By making me accept the fact that you can just do this to me when I don't like it.
I don't know if that's the same.
It's rape.
I don't know.
It's abuse.
I'm sorry. I don't. I
all
can't.
Of those things.
It's hard for me to even say that because honestly, like if I would have seen that happen, first off, out of my all right, I'm not going. There's no reason for me to get my damn heart rate up over this. You know what I mean? She want to scream at me. All right, my bad. You know what I mean? And then, maybe we'll talk about it later. Maybe not. But you know what? I'm not. Sorry, man. Listen, you're at the age.
No, you're not wrong, Armand. What deflates me is what response I get is always, I need to. That's all. That's always.
Because you know what? You know why? Because in your eyes, just like in my eyes, this is my world. In your eyes, it's your world. You have to make it how it's going to be. So you got to manipulate your world to make it as happy as you want it to be. But you constantly arguing, saying, "Why don't you understand? This is how I want it."
All I'm saying, I don't feel like it's unreasonable. I guess it's the point that I'm making.
It's not unreasonable,
and that's all.
It's not unreasonable,
and it's full stop.
But
it's not unreasonable.
You got to understand. To some people, it's not. To me, it's not an unreasonable thing. Because some people have
reasonable.
People have personality traits. That's a trait of your personality. That's just it. That's just how it is. I've known you for a long time. It's something that I can really respect. But then at the same time, I'm not in your bed. That's a different person. That's in your bed. That's completely different.
Called reasonable expectations.
You know what I mean?
Right. Those reasonable expectations have to be established, and it should be I think that's a part of accountability and growth, and it's people understanding reasonable expectations. And and what I'm saying is there are reasonable expectations that somebody would say, you don't have to make me the enemy in a scenario that doesn't cause me to be the enemy. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you, and I don't think she is. I just think, like I said, once again, the person that's the closest to your heart, that's the one that's going to hurt you the most, and that's the one you're going to hurt the most. Right. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. And there's no maybe they'll come back later on and be like, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I do apologize. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I was up here. I do apologize. I'm sorry. You know, you my heart, baby. You know, shit like that. It happens because first things first, like, oh, f- you. Then it's like, you know what? That's the closest thing. You know, that's the only thing I'm letting in right now. You know what I mean? So, you know, besides, I mean, you got kids, you know, besides kids, but that's the closest thing that does not have to love me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, and that's how I think of my wife too. I'm the closest thing besides her kids, which she's very close to, extremely close. You know, but I'm the closest thing to her heart. I see sides that her kids don't see. You know what I mean? That they'll never see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see sides of her that her mother won't see. You know what I mean? Because there's still things that her mom does that triggers her. You know, to this day that her mom does. Right. That I say that is very wrong, but I'm like, you know what? That's your mother. You got to let her know. Some of the things that her mom, she does too. Some of the things that her mom, because I tell her too. I'm like, that's cool all day.
Yeah, my wife,
like mama,
because my mother-in-law, and she hates it. She disregards everybody's time, and she'll lollygagging and doing whatever. And I'm like,
get it from her mama. For real.